try to retain what we did in our previous video. If you are not able to do so, click the I button and see our previous video on limbic system part 1. Hello guys, this is Rahul and welcome to our channel Doctors to Be. This is another video on limbic system, that is limbic system part 2, where we'll discuss about the hippocampus. Hippocampus, it is a structure formed by the complex infolding of three parts or three structures. They are dendrite gyrus, cornu ammonis and subiculum. So hippocampus is a structure composed of complex infoldings of dendrite gyrus, cornu ammonis and subiculum. Located in the floor of the lateral ventricle, floor of the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. It extends from the uncus gyrus to the splenium of the corpus callosum. Okay, located in the floor of inferior horn of lateral ventricle, it extends from uncus to splenium of corpus callosum. Okay, then a bundle of white matter known as alveus covers the hippocampus. Okay, and medial to the hippocampus is parahippocampal gyrus, and at the junction between the parahippocampal gyrus and hippocampus is the dendrite gyrus. Okay, so I guess you are not understanding these things, so for now write the things or try to grab some of the points. When we will draw a figure, you will be clear. Okay, so after writing the points, we shall draw a figure which will show the hippocampus, and you will be clear about these points. Okay, so I told that hippocampus is covered by a bundle of white matter known as alveus. Okay, covered by a bundle of white matter called alveus, and the medial to it, okay, medial to the hippocampus is the parahippocampal gyrus, and at the junction of the hippocampus and parahippocampal gyrus is the dendrite gyrus. So medial to the hippocampus, is parahippocampal gyrus, and at junction of parahippocampal gyrus and hippocampus is dendrite gyrus. Okay, so medial to hippocampus is parahippocampal gyrus, and at the junction of parahippocampal gyrus and hippocampus is the dentate gyrus. Okay, this dentate gyrus is covered by, as we so previously we discussed that hippocampus is covered by a bundle of white matter known as alveus, and the dentate gyrus is covered by the continuation of the alveus, which is known as fimbria. Okay, so okay, dentate gyrus is covered by continuation of alveus, which is known as continuation of alveus, known as, which is called fimbria. Okay, and so the hippocampus has three parts: head, body, and the tail. Okay, head, body, and tail. And the head of the anterior end of the head resembles to paw of an animal. Okay, and it is called pes hippocampus. Okay, so you should keep this in mind. Anterior end of head of hippocampus, it means hippocampus. Okay, it resembles to paw of an animal. Okay, paw of an animal, and is called pes hippocampus. Okay, pes hippocampus. Now, both the cornu ammonis and the dentate gyrus are three layered. Okay, they have three layers with middle pyramidal layer and inner and outer polymorphic layers of cells. Okay, so both cornu ammonis and dentate gyrus have three layers that they are middle pyramidal, that is the middle pyramidal, and inner and outer polymorphic cells. Okay, inner and outer polymorphic layer of cells. And we just told that the hippocampus is formed by the infolding of cornu ammonis, dentate gyrus, and the subiculum. Okay, so the subiculum is continuous with parahippocampal gyrus. You'll understand this. Okay, when we'll draw the figure. So please, for now, don't get frustrated. Just try to grab this point. Just try to remember, so that when we'll draw figure, you'll understand it better. The subiculum is continuous with. Okay, the subiculum is continuous. The subiculum is continuous with parahippocampal gyrus. Okay, and the dentate gyrus dentate gyrus is continuous with gyrus fasciolaris. Okay, gyrus fasciolaris, which further continues with indusium griseum. Okay, so I hope you know what indusium griseum is. So if you don't know, then indusium griseum is a layer of gray matter over the corpus callosum, which is present over the corpus callosum with 4 other bands of white matter, which are known as lateral and medial longitudinal striae. So to know better, you can look or we can watch the videos on corpus callosum. We can find the videos on corpus callosum or other videos related to neuroanatomy on our playlist named neuroanatomy. Okay, so the cebiculum is continuous with the parahippocampal gyrus, while the dentate gyrus is continuous with the gyrus fasciolaris, which further continues with indusium griseum. Okay, so now let's draw the figure of the hippocampus. So I am trying to draw the simplest of the figures so that it will be easy to understand and draw it later. So let's draw it. Let's complete the dots. For me it's completing the dots, but you should draw it. Okay, so this from here is the parahippocampal gyrus. Here's the cebiculum. This is the cebiculum part, and this is the hippocampus. Okay, and we'll draw the three layers: middle pyramidal layers, outer and inner polymorphic layer of cells, and then this is the dentate gyrus. Here's the fimbria, and we'll draw fimbria, and the covering of the hippocampus is we'll draw alveus and fimbria out over there. Okay, so okay, these are the layers: the middle pyramidal, inner and outer polymorphic cells, layer of cells. So this is parahippocampal gyrus. Parahippocampal gyrus. This over here is cebiculum. Okay, this is the dentate gyrus, and the outer and the inner are polymorphic layer of cells, while the inner is the pyramidal layer of cells. Pyramidal layer. Okay, I hope you are clear with the labelings. So, and this is the hippocampus, here is the dentate gyrus. Now let's try to show the coverings, alveus and fimbriae. So the covering the hippocampus will be alveus, and continuation of alveus which will cover the dentate gyrus will be the fimbria. Okay, so I am marking it with blue to show the fimbria and the alveus. As we discussed earlier, that alveus is a white bundle of white matter, and fimbria covering the dentate gyrus is the continuation of alveus. Okay, so this is alveus, and this is the fimbria. Okay, so here are the labelings, so don't get confused. Figure hippocampus, okay, and there are a lot of figures. You can also refer to your textbook to see the figures, and I would like to show you the pes hippocampus. So in the figure you can notice the anterior end, this is the head. Okay, the anterior end of the head is resembles to that a paw of an animal, yes or no? So try to figure it out. This resembles to the paw of an animal, this part, anterior end of the head resembles to the paw of an animal. So this part is known as pes hippocampus. So we mentioned it about it in the video. So this is the figure of hippocampus. Hope you are clear with the points. Okay, now we shall discuss about the functions and connections of hippocampus. Now connections of the hippocampus. So we'll discuss about the efferent and the efferent. So efferent fibers to the hippocampus are coming from area 28 or entorhinal cortex. Okay, so efferent fibers to hippocampus come from area 28. Okay, so we'll discuss about these areas, olfactory areas and optic areas while discussing about the cerebral cortex. For now, remember the efferent fibers from the to the hippocampus come from area 28 or entorhinal cortex. Okay, entorhinal cortex. And the efferent fibers from the hippocampus, they go to three different regions. Okay, efferent fibers from hippocampus go to three different regions. From hippocampus will go to three different regions, and they are to the opposite. One is to the opposite hippocampus on the next hemisphere. Okay, one set of fibers will go to the septal region with septal nuclei or septal region and the anterior hypothalamic region. Okay, septal region and anterior hypothalamic region. And the next set of fibers, we told that the efferent fibers from hippocampus will go to three regions, one to the opposite hippocampus in the next hemisphere, other to the septal region and anterior hypothalamic region, and another will go to the mammillary body and then project into the cingulate gyrus. Okay, so first one, to opposite hippocampus on next hemisphere, and these fibers are known as fornix commissure or hippocampal commissure. Okay, and they are fornix or hippocampal Okay, hippocampal commissure. They are fornix commissure or hippocampal commissure. Okay. They are called, okay, they are called either fornix commissure or sometimes hippocampal commissure. Okay. Now the second set of fibers, they are going to the septal region and anterior hypothalamic region. And the next set, the third set of fibers are going to the mammillary body. Okay. Bodies then project into cingulate gyrus. Okay, so the efferent fibers from hippocampus, they go to the three different regions. They are opposite hippocampus. First one is the opposite hippocampus, then to the septal region, and third one is the mammillary body. And then they project into the cingulate gyrus. Okay, 1, 2, and the third region. Okay, three different regions. They go to the three different regions, the efferent fibers. Okay, now let's come to the functions of hippocampus. The hippocampus plays a very important role in the formation of solid memory from the recent memory in the cortex. Okay, that is conversion of recent memory into solid memory in the cortex. So plays an important role in formation of solid memory from recent memory in the cortex. Okay, in the cortex, and integration of the endocrine and visceral function. Integration of the endocrine and visceral function in response to emotion is done by the hippocampus. Okay, so integration of endocrine and visceral functions in response to emotions. So these are the major functions of the hippocampus. So with this we complete the limbic system part 2, where we discussed about the hippocampus. In the limbic system part 1 we discussed about the subdivisions of the limbic system, introduction to limbic system, and we discussed about the amygdala or amygdaloid complex. So in the next video, limbic system part 3, we shall discuss about the fornix and Papez circuit. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and do share and subscribe to help us and support us, and let me know your queries, suggestions, anything that you feel that I should know in the comment section, or you can contact me through the Gmail. The ID will be given in the description box, and you can find all the videos related to neuroanatomy on our playlist named Neuroanatomy. So till then, bye bye and take care.